into this mix.
Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing today? My name's Derrick Broze. I'm an activist and a freelance journalist from Houston, Texas. I work for Activist Post, the Anti-Media, Mint Press News, and I also work for The Mind Unleashed. And in the process of this work, I write articles, I do video reports, I do interviews, and much of it focuses on what some would call the problems in the world. You know, looking at the problems in the political systems, the corporate systems, and trying to get past that information, spread the awareness of it, but not get stuck in the fear. In the process of my work, I try not to get stuck on just the negative or the dark aspects of what's going on in the world. I try to bring solutions, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. More and more I find people saying, we know something's wrong with the world, Derrick. We know that government's corrupt. We know that corporations are trying to destroy the planet. We know that there are powerful people manipulating world events, but what are we going to do about it? So let's talk about that. Number one, let go of the fear. Now, this is just as simple as it sounds. In my research and my experience, I've realized that there are plenty of people who are actually afraid of freedom. They're afraid of taking their life into their own hands and being the true sovereign that they should be, being the master of their own life and allowing other people to also be the master of their own lives and to live as freely as they choose. There are many things that we face in this life, obstacles, fear, trauma, insecurities, doubts, that can stand in the way of you and your pursuit of freedom. But you have to make a choice. You have to decide today, in this moment, right now, you want to be free, and you will stop at nothing to do that. And in the pursuit of your freedom, you may come to the same conclusions I have, and realizing that you also want other people to be free. Number two, create, build, grow. Now, this is just as easy as it sounds. We want to not try to spend our energy fighting these people that are in power, whether that means trying to violently overthrow them or going to your political enemies and punching them in the face and fighting them in the streets, or for me, even spending the energy trying to vote them out. Rather than that, we can build in our communities. This may not be a quick change, but it's one that can be lasting, it can be powerful, and it can be valuable if you invest your time and your energy into your local community, creating local community power and looking for solutions, the answer within your own neighborhoods rather than in political institutions. Number three, stop using their money. Supporting alternative currencies, cryptocurrencies, barter networks, trade networks, skill shares, free schools, all of these ideas allow you to step away from the statist mainstream currency. In the United States, this is the Federal Reserve note, sometimes known as the dollar. Your nation may have a different currency, but more than likely it involves a central bank, it involves fiat currency, it involves fractional reserve banking, and it involves enslaving the people through the use of that currency. So to truly step away from that, we have to start looking for alternatives. Invest into Bitcoin or Dash or other cryptocurrencies. Look for solutions. Create a new currency in your own community, a community-based currency. There are plenty of ways that we can do this. We have to get off their money. Number four, the sovereignty of the individual. Now, this is a very simple concept that just means that each of us are beautiful, powerful, intelligent, and free human beings deserving of our own freedom as well as other people being deserving of theirs. So when you recognize that really simple but profound fact, then you have to understand that you have no right to infringe upon another person's right to be the sovereign of their life. As long as they respect that right for you, then you respect that right for them. This means that the only allowable, acceptable use of force in our society should be in defense of one's own person or property. Beyond that, we should respect the individual as sovereign. Number five, compassionate or nonviolent communication. If you've never heard about this, please look up the book Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. Marshall Rosenberg did tons of research and showed that often conflict arises because people feel their needs are not being met, whether or not they realize it or not. So two egos start battling each other because they don't feel their needs are being met. Maybe they don't feel like they're being heard, and it just becomes a clash of egos, and there's no communication actually taking place. There's no learning, there's no teaching. We have to get beyond that, especially in today's divisive political climate, and we can create a world where we hear each other out, especially those who we disagree with. But it's going to involve compassion, empathy, compassionate communication, and tools like nonviolent communication. And one more final tip that I think really ties all this together. All of the tools I gave you are valuable. They're just a starting point. These are by no means the answers, the final be-all, end-all of the solutions. But just like I mentioned with the currency, when it comes to funding all of the things that we do not like, the wars, the horrible free trade deals, the destruction of the environment, the loss of civil liberties, the increasing surveillance state and police state, the prison industrial complex. All of these things, the statist education system that breeds people back into the system and teaches them the state's version of history and the state's version of reality. All of this is underpinned, is allowed because they have a population of people to take money from via involuntary taxation. If we are ever to truly create something new and to evolve past this, we need to come up with mass-scale, national level, across different nations, tax resistance. And this will look different depending on your country and how you are able to get away with this. But generally, if we start taking our money away from them, start using alternative currencies, and start making money in what is known as the nonviolent black and gray markets, or counter-economics, taking money away from the state and bringing it into our community so that we can build the next stage, then we will see the evolution of humanity. Those ideas are sometimes known as agorism, so please do your research if you want to know more about that. Thank you guys for listening. This message, these solutions, everything I said to you today are actually included in my brand new book, which is coming out this Friday, April 7th. It is called Manifesto of the Free Humans. It's the third book in the Conscious Resistance trilogy. You can download it for free beginning Friday morning at theconsciousresistance.com/books. You can also order it on the same place, and you can order the other two books in the Conscious Resistance series, Reflections on Anarchy and Spirituality, and Finding Freedom in an Age of Confusion. All three books are available for free to download. Audiobooks coming. Please, let's focus on solutions. Let's build a better world. Remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free.